Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Here with Brian, Doc, Randy. Different topic. We've bantered this about for months. Finally getting to it. Top 10 favorite villains in the movies. Personal choices. We all have an idea of what a villain is, what a villain does, how graphic it has to be. It could be subtle in some ways. Antagonist is a good word, but villain. I think we know one when we see one. We're all going to take shots at our top 10 list, see what kind of crossover we have, and take it from there. Tonight's order is going to be Brian 1, Doc 2, Randy 3, and me 4. So let's jump in, knock this baby out real quick. Brian, what do you got? 10 through 1.
10 through 1. At number 10, I've got, kind of fitting for the AI world that we live in, I've got the HAL 9000 from 2001 Space Odyssey, 1968, voiced by Douglas Rain. I just thought that Hal had this subtle, amoral sensibility like a computer probably should have. And I think the calm, logical, and completely emotionless voice just kind of works really well as the antagonist of the film. Number 9 for me, I expect this one to show up again on some other lists. From One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I've got Nurse Ratchet, portrayed by Louise Fletcher from 1975. Without trying to just openly use the B word, this if you needed to having a living example of it, you would just show her parts from this film. I think it would do it just absolute justice if you needed to quantify that in some way. Number 8, I went a little bit more contemporary because I loved the portrayal. I thought he did an excellent job. And that was Joaquin Phoenix and Gladiator playing Emperor Commodus. I just thought he was absolutely evil on every level. It's a guy who murders his father and then, illegitimately ascends to the throne of emperor. He lusts after his sister, or he uses her son against her to make her do whatever he wants her to do. And then to try to win over the people, he reinstitutes the gladiator pits and has human beings killing each other to amuse himself. Number 7, I've got Pennywise the clown from It. You could go with either portrayal, but I picked the one from Bill Skarsgård from 2017. I think Pennywise taps into that primal childhood vulnerability of fears, and the movie kind of portrays that through the eyes of the children, which kind of enhances that for us as viewers. His unpredictable behavior, I think, combined with the very unsettling playfulness that the character has, is what really makes it work on a lot of different levels. Kind of sticking with the Stephen King motif, at number 6, I've got Kathy Bates' portrayal of Annie Wilkes from Misery. I will never quite look at a sledgehammer the same ever again. I think Annie kind of flips this crazy switch between warmth and then instant brutality. She's not some crazy monster like an atypical Stephen King type of stuff, but she certainly is scary and dangerous in all sorts of different ways. Number 5, from Silence of the Lambs, Anthony Hopkins' portrayal of Hannibal Lecter from 1991. I think when you got Anthony Hopkins kind of playing this as an intelligent, almost weaponized individual who kind of dominates every scene with physical force and words and insight and psychological precision. He just knows how to get to people in all sorts of different ways, and I think he just knocked it out of the ballpark. Number 4, I've got from Schindler's List, Ray Fiennes' portrayal of Amon Gott from 1993. Obviously based on a real life human being. I mean, this is Gott's horror, is without exaggeration, kind of represents a real world evil. Certainly the Nazi sensibility of genocide, and it seemed his character, he portrayed it in such a casual, arbitrary, and indifferent manner that just made it even more evil on a lot of different levels. And Ray coming right off of the theater right into that role. I think that role was his second film role, but he busted his chops in the theater before that. I just think he just jumped right in and knocked it right out of the ballpark. Number 3, Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men, played by Javier Bardem. I think a lot of people wrote thesis papers about this, how he's not really a human being in a lot of ways. He's considered like some type of force for chaos, and that people have to try to overcome in order to, move forward in their life. And he kind of operates with this very warped sensibility, a moral system, if you will. And if you cross his path and you're in his way, he certainly just kills you for that reason. But otherwise, if he feels like you're just annoying him, he uses an arbitrary coin toss to decide your fate, which kind of makes his character even more scary. Number 2 for me is Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight. Certainly this character has been played by a lot of different individuals, and all of them deserve some props for the way that they portrayed him, maybe except for Jared Leto's version. But Ledger's, Joker works, because he's a chaotic individual who's just really out to dismantle the, societal systems, and he doesn't really want power. He's not interested in money. Just like Alfred said in the movie, he just wants to watch the world burn. And so evil of that nature is just really impossible to contain. And I think the most memorable villain for me, number 1 overall, is probably going to be Darth Vader from Star Wars New Hope, portrayed, physically by David Prowse for his stature, but voiced infamously by James Earl Jones. Vader's like this perfect infusion of myth and character, physically imposing, always recognizable, even in his silhouette form, obviously. And once they filled in the prequel stuff, and you kind of see the arc of the character in itself. I mean, it makes it, even though he's highly evil, on some level you kind of sympathize with him, which doesn't deter from him being a recognizable villain, but certainly made the character a lot more interesting as we moved along. So that's my top 10.
Fantastic. You covered the gamut there of some memorable characters, that's for sure.
That's a good list, Brian.
There you go.
Excellent. Real strong list. What do you got, Doc? Let's hear some more villains.
Yeah, I mean, like you started off with there, Rich. I'll preface it. There's many different kinds of villains out there. These are just my favorites right now. I have a list of like 1,000 villains I love just because I love villain movies. But I'm gonna do it at the 10 today. So number 10, I'm gonna take Bob Gunton as the warden from Shawshank.
Excellent pick.
Good pick.
There's different kinds of evil or villains in a movie. You see different kinds. Just cold-hearted, man. No scruples, no nothing. The guy you want to beat up at the end of the movie is the warden. So sometimes you don't mind the outcome of different things, but cruel character.
Yep.
Like I said, there's different ways to look at things. So I'm going to keep it with it, man. And it's one that's been with me my whole life. I don't care. I'm doing Lionel Barrymore as Mr. Potter, and It's a Wonderful Life.
Ooh, interesting.
Fantastic.
That's just pure evil too, man. This guy's trying to destroy the town indirectly by just keeping somebody else's money that he's just found. What a scumbag.
Yeah.
Get right down to it. It's a bad character, man. It's a bad dude. And again, heartless, and he's just got a selfish side to him that, another guy just want to smash him in the face if he was there. So then maybe you get some different ways on how you do things. So that's 10, 9, 8. I want to make sure I do this right. 8. Just it's a personal choice for me, man. I got Ricardo Montalban as Khan in The Wrath of Khan.
Nice.
As one of the ultimate villains in a sci-fi flick for sure, man.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go down like, different things. You could do, cartoons or animated movies and stuff like this. I'm just trying to stay in my zone. And Khan's a classic bad guy, man, and blowing up ships and everything else that goes with it. He's a fantastic villain. He's got the villains almost to have, the good and the bad. You'd have to have a good villain. You got to have a pretty good hero or something else to go against sometimes. So it's just the way it works for me. But
right.
Which leads me to Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber at my number 7 from Die Hard.
That's
Another
good.
one. Yeah.
A classic character, man. Die Hard sure, but I could watch Die Hard anytime. I'm a guy kind of thing, man. It's a guy flick, and yeah, Die Hard is still stood up if you want the truth, man. Alan Rickman's a great thief, but he's never a terrorist, man. He's just a bad dude, and he's no scruples on how he's going to go about his robbery. That's for sure. So Rickman's in at 7. I have Christopher Waltz as Han Lada from Inglourious at number 6.
Yeah.
One of the more memorable performances. I could have taken something from different characters, maybe, because I do like a lot of Quentin stuff anyway. But that's peak, man. In my opinion on how bad a dude is. The opening 10, 15 minutes of that movie is just shows you what kind of a-hole you're dealing with for the next 2 hours plus. So, fantastic performance, fantastic villain. Once again, the next one's going to be just what it is, man. I can't help it. I just love the character. It's Kurtwood Smith playing Clarence Boddicker from RoboCop. That's my number 5.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. That is him. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to talk about a bad dude, man? This guy's going around killing cops, doesn't care whatever, and everything else in the movie, man. So, which leads to the crux of the movie on how RoboCop gets happening, man. Yeah, it's a sci-fi, it's a guy flick, and it's over the top in every manner. That's why I love it. I don't care. I think RoboCop's a classic, still do. Ultimate bad guy is the bad guy in the movie, man. Kurtwood Smith. I don't think got work for a while because he was so good as that guy, man. So, Clarence Boddicker, man, fantastic character. Number 4, yeah, Heath Ledger. We might have a run out here. This might sound very familiar now. So Heath as the Joker at number 4. The touch points that Brian touched on. So that's one of the iconic performances here that we've seen in the this is the last 25 years. This is peak performance stuff, man. So yeah, he was a bad dude. Number 3, yeah, Anton, man, and No Country from Javier is
right.
Number 3. I almost put it down when I was going to do my little blurb. I said, a real human playing the Terminator. And that's who that guy is. So
yeah.
That's emotionless, heartless, and just very methodical about how he goes about his business. And no, there's no emotion to this guy, man. This guy's flat out killer. Ralph Fiennes, man, and Schindler is I'm on the north. It's just disturbingly good.
Yeah,
as a bad guy, and I don't know how he didn't get the Oscar. And it still stuns me, but
yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
I don't know who he's up against or anything else like that. But just as a performance, it's one of the best performances you'll ever watch in one sense, man. As much as it's awful and the character's awful, it's incredible to watch in one sense.
I feel like he lost to Tommy Lee Jones.
He did for The Fugitive.
The Fugitive. Yeah. Well, that's a miss. I like Tommy Lee.
That's a miss. Yeah.
Sorry. But my number 1 sounds a lot like Brian's number 1, man. The ultimate bad guy in my eyes is Vader, the voice of James Earl and David Prowse playing.
Nice.
The ultimate villain, as much as there might be the sci-fi, it's just maybe an age thing for me and Brian in one sense, but we're going to have Vader through our whole lives and our movie lives, which is incredible when you think about it.
Yeah.
The ultimate villain living with you your whole life as you watch it, and you're into your 50s and you still got that bad guy hanging around with you. It's awesome. Vader's, to me, you got no scruples blowing up planets and shit like that. He's the worst dude there is, man. Yeah. That's my number 1 villain.
Yeah, I really like your picks, especially the Khan one was on my list and it just bounced around. But it's like this weird parallel of Captain Ahab in that movie where it's like he just couldn't let Kirk go. He could have just left.
Could have. No, he's hanging around, man.
And movie over, right? Roll the credits. But he couldn't just let Kirk go. Just
hanging around the other side, man.
Had to get his white whale,
Yeah. I love your whole list, of course, but my favorite sleeper pick, Bob Gunton from
nice.
Shawshank.
Yeah, that's a nice pull.
That's a great pick because he really cast a pall over that movie. I mean, it's unbelievable.
You get the good guys and the bad guys. As much as there's guys in jail, Morton's the bad guy. So
he's as bad as any of them. And he put Tim Robbins in the hole for like 6 months or something.
Yeah.
And then he shoots Tommy in the courtyard. All this stuff that was going on. It was unbelievable,
heartless, man.
But he got his comeuppance. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. All right, Randy, what do you got? Any different stuff? I'm sure you do.
A few of them. Yeah, there are difference here. I got my number 10 from 1987. I've got Jerry Blake, among other names, for Terry O'Quinn as the stepfather, trying to mold the perfect family, but you just wait for him to snap, and he becomes kind of a terrifying figure. I didn't see the remake, but O'Quinn is just a terrifying performance in this movie. My number 9 is I've got Hannibal Lecter here from Silence of the Lambs with Anthony Hopkins. What is amazing is that how limited screen time that he has, but that's the person that you really remember from the movie. Yeah. Sorry, Jody, but yeah.
Right.
My number 8 I have Darth Vader here from Star Wars. I just had to have him on here. And just the voice of James Earl Jones is awe-inspiring, really. Although he can be a tragic figure as well. My number 7 from 1955. Had to go back there.
Yeah.
Reverend Harry Powell from Night of the Hunter with Robert Mitchum.
Robert Mitchum.
There's a couple of Robert Mitchum roles I could have picked, but I picked this one. This was Charles Lawton's only time in the director's chair. Got some unbelievable images in this movie. This is the one where Mitchum poses as a fire and brimstone preacher and has love and hate tattooed on his fists. Just an imposing figure and a murderous imposing figure. And then number 6, I have from 1975. I have Nurse Ratched here from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Louise Fletcher. It's hard to think that somebody is a nurse with no empathy whatsoever, but then she kind of revels in exercising her authority. My number 5, I've got The Wicked Witch of the West from 1939, Wizard of Oz, Margaret Hamilton.
Good one.
This is a villain from my childhood. Then, Wizard of Oz used to be on every year, and the whole family would watch it. But anyone that has a horde of flying gargoyle-like monkeys is scary. It was scary as a kid. It's a little bit scary now, I have to admit. But she was threatening Dorothy's little dog. Anybody that does that, it's got to be great. My number 4, I've got Liberty Valance, played by Lee Marvin, and The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance from 1962. I think you're quite a villain when they make a whole movie about who shot you, and Gene Pitney does a song about it. But Lee Marvin as Liberty Valance is the town outlaw bully who tries to goad James Stewart's character into a gunfight. And he has some pretty good lackeys, too, as well, with Lee Van Cleef and Strother Martin, who also has some good villainous roles. My number 3 is Colonel Hans Landa from Inglourious Basterds with Christopher Waltz. He is one evil SOB in this movie. He takes pleasure in hurting and killing people, but it's like such a calm, intimidating type. He creates tension with just every word he speaks. My number 2, I've got Hans Gruber from Die Hard here from 1988. Alan Rickman. He was a stylish villain with sophisticated aura, but cold-blooded in every way, as he could switch off the charm and be ruthless in a second. Calculated planner, manipulator, where nothing is what it seems. His casualness is what was threatening, I thought. And my number 1, has been said before, is Anton Chigurh, Javier Bardem, in No Country for Old Men. Like you said, he was more than a villain. He was like a force of nature. And that's my number 1.
Yeah.
Great list.
Yeah, that's a great list. The one I thought you might have, and that, but I love the other ones that you picked. I thought you might go after Orson Welles from Touch of Evil.
I thought that's one that was on my mind.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's right in Randy's wheelhouse. I was wondering,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love that you included the witch, Margaret.
Yeah, that's a great.
Yeah,
pick.
that's a good one too. Yeah.
Old school. I mean, that's some of our first childhood memories on film for many of us. So good stuff.
Yes.
All right, number 10 from me. I'm going to go with Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction.
Yep.
Ooh, all right.
Playing Alex Forrest, the ultimate stalker of Michael Douglas, and
R.I.P. the rabbit.
The rabbit and the pot, and just her, I won't be ignored, whatever she's saying. And, just she had it down pretty good. And she got, I think, robbed of the Oscar, too, in that year, because that was the year Cher.
Yeah.
Cher won for Moonstruck. I mean, it's okay.
Come on, yeah.
I'm going with Glenn Close. If she ever would have won an Oscar, it was probably for that performance or Dangerous Liaisons, one of the two.
Yeah.
Number 9, I have the same one Randy had. Robert Mitchum as the preacher in Night of the Hunter.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's so memorable. It is beautifully shot along the river. He's got these 2 children with him, and he's a serial killer, and it's just a menace to society with love and hate. You mentioned all that stuff. Great pick. Number 8 is something no one, but this always sticks out to me, and that's Willem Dafoe in To Live and Die in L.A. Rick Masters as the counterfeit guy who's just a killer too. I mean, he can do it all. He blows people away. He lures you in, and then when he's done with you, you end up in a dumpster somewhere. He's fantastic in the movie. Number 7, Hans Landa. Christoph Waltz's performance in Inglourious Bastards. There's so many great scenes from the opening scene, the interrogation scene, the one with the strudel where he's like tasting it, and at the same time he wants to, he's setting you up for later on down the road. Great performance. Number 6, some of these have already been mentioned. Hannibal Lecter and Anthony Hopkins, of course, in Silence of the Lambs. A genius who happens to be a cannibal and a sinister bastard. He's got some charm to him. He's great at dialogue with Jodie Foster in the movie, and they go back and forth and try and outsmart each other to a degree. And I just he's fantastic for the limited screen time that he has. Number 5 is Nurse Ratched, played by Louise Fletcher in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The ultimate, what she does to Billy Bibbit in that movie is beyond cruel. I mean, it's just earth-shattering and heartbreaking, just breaking him down until the very end. Number 4, I've got Robert De Niro's performance of Max Cady in Cape Fear.
It's a good performance. Yeah,
he's a bad villain in that, and seductive in a way with Juliette Lewis as the teenager, and he's out after Nick Nolte and Jessica Lange. Solid movie and a great villain. Number 3, Kevin Spacey as Kaiser Sose.
Yeah.
And The Usual Suspects. Verbal Kent, aka Kaiser. I mean, he creates his own drama from all the stuff behind him, and he's a great storyteller. And you don't realize until the very end that he's the one manipulating everything. It's fantastic. Oscar-winning role. I also considered him for the movie 7, where he plays John Doe. He's the one that had 2 evil performances, and I settled on Sose. Number 2 is Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. We talked about that with Javier Bardem. Just an all-time villain. But my number 1, I can't believe I'm the only one that has this, but I just stay out of the dentist chair. It's Dr. Zell from Marathon Man by Laurence Olivier.
He was
just pure evil, if you will.
Yeah, sure.
That's my most frightening villain that I've ever come across, being somebody that hates dentist stuff to begin with. And he personifies a villain in my book. So
that's why when I had dental work done, I made sure I picked a dentist I knew I could take in a fight.
That's a good policy, by the way.
It's a good list, guys. Nice diverse list. I only think we all matched on like 2.
Yeah.
Javier?
I think Anton and Lecter may be the only ones we all matched on.
No, I didn't have Lecter.
Yeah, because I think 3 of you had Vader. I didn't have
Vader.
That. Did not have Vader.
And I didn't have Hans Landa. So
did everyone have Hannibal Lecter? I don't think Doc did.
I did not have Lecter.
So that's another 3 spot.
Right.
So it's just Javier Bardem, I guess.
It's
No Country. Well, obviously, that's a great villain. So
yeah.
Anyway,
those are our lists. The 4 individual lists. We'd like to hear the audience picks too. I'm sure we left out a ton because every movie or most movies have a villain to some extent. So we'd like to hear some specific characters, personal picks for you guys out there, and we'll address them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Go over and subscribe to Randall Nelson, Massey's Main Entertainment. We'll see you next time with a different topic. So we appreciate your comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.